Good day, everyone. This lesson is about water quality management. I would like to start by saying water is the most fundamental requirement for fish farming because without suitable water supply, the farm can never be successful. Why is water quality so important? 1. It is the home of fish. 2. It provides oxygen and food for the fish. 3. It is a medium for waste discharge such as CO2, nitrogen waste, and excreta. 4. It is a medium for reproduction. Quality of good water for fish pond. Quality water is free of odor, taste, and color. A good water must also have enough dissolved oxygen, appropriate pH, water free from suspended particles and pollutants such as detergents, herbicides, and toxic waste, mainly from factories and houses. Dissolved oxygen. What to know about dissolved oxygen? 1. Fish requires adequate concentration of dissolved oxygen for survival and growth. 2. Oxygen dissolves in water from the atmosphere or can be produced by plants found in water through photosynthesis. 3. Shortage of oxygen can be caused by competition for water use by other animal or plants, decay of animal and plant materials in water, and decomposition of uneaten feed by bacteria. 4. If oxygen is in short supply, fish become restless, swimming to the surface to gasp for air. In very acute shortage, the fish should be jumping out of the water. Foul smell of water is another indication of low oxygen. 5. You can test the water to know the condition of O2 oxygen by spitting into the water. If the saliva form remains intact for about 5 to 6 minutes, oxygen is low in the water. 6. Oxygen level in pond can be improved by agitating or mixing the water with stick and aerators. However, in critical situation, the water may be completely drained and replaced with fresh, well-oxygenated water. Water pH. This is a measure of the acidity or alkalinity level of water. The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. The neutral pH point is 7. pH above 7, alkaline, and below, acidic. Turbidity. In fish business, when the water becomes bad, the term turbidity is used. When your pond water becomes turbid, the ammonia level will become high, causing great harm to your catfish. The following are features of a turbid water. 1. Suspended particles, silt and clay in pond usually make water turbid. 2. Turbidity reduces light penetration and level of photosynthesis. 3. You can know that your pond water is turbid if you notice a change of color from slightly green to brown. 4. Also, if you dip your hand inside pond water and discover that your palm cannot be seen before your elbow reaches the water level, then the water is turbid. If turbidity is as a result of runoff around the pond, drainage can be constructed to divert it away. Alternatively, the water can be changed completely, or alum can be added to the water under expert supervision. Fish waste causing turbidity. You need to understand that 1. Waste are from uneaten food, CO2 given out during respiration, and fish excreta. 2. Accumulation of waste can be noticed through foul smelling emanating from the water. The color of water also changes. 3. As a preventive measure, do not overfeed fish or remove uneaten feed to avoid becoming nuisance. 4. You can drain the water off completely and replace with fresh one as a last resort. To raise fishes, farmers source for water in different ways, depending on the availability of fresh quality water in their environment. They use different techniques in managing water. 1. We have the recirculatory system. 2. We have the flow-through system. And 3. We have the stagnant pond system. Recirculatory system. This is an indoor production system where the water management technique requires treating of used water for reuse. Used water is treated for chemical, gaseous, biological, and solid waste before reusing. Water is treated by different techniques and equipment to ensure healthy aquatic environment for your fish production. Generally, recirculatory system is made up of fish maintenance tank and composite system. A complete recirculatory system may comprise the following: 1. Tank. 2. Screen/sand filter. 3. Filter. 4. Aerators or oxygen pumping machine. 5. Submerged heaters, chillers or heat exchangers. Then 6. Linking pipes. The pros and cons of water recirculatory system. Its merits are as follows. Water recirculatory system ensures economy of land because of its high density stocking capability. 2. It promotes efficiency of water management by ensuring limited water resource is judiciously used. 3. It is environmental friendly. Used water is treated before being reused in the environment. And 4. Increases survival rates and ensures low mortality due to reduced risk of diseases. And finally, stable environment for optimal growth. Its demerits are: 1. The system is expensive to set up. 2. High cost of maintenance. 3. Can only be handled by trained personnel. 4. High cost of operation. 5. Breakdown in any part of the system will affect the entire system. And finally, cannot be operated in absence of electricity. The second technique farmers use in managing water is flow-through system. In this system, water is constantly allowed into the pond through an inlet pipe, and used water is released into the drainage to keep the pond refreshed. The water coming into the pond sometimes may or may not be treated. The main reason for this system is to limit water pollution and its effects. A pond operating flow-through system is carefully constructed in such a way that fresh water is allowed into the pond either through pipe networks or concrete raceway. In earthen ponds, flow-through system can be operated manually by linking the source of water, be from a stream, river, dam, etc., to a receiving pond from where other ponds get the share of water. However, this might not be visible in artificial pond. Most often, sources of water to artificial ponds are mostly higher than the level of the pond. To run a flow-through system, you are to constantly pump water into the higher water tank to drop water into the pond. This will increase cost of production in artificial pond production. The merits and demerits of a flow-through system are: 1. Let's talk about the merits. Low setup cost. 2. Simple to set up. 3. Easy to maintain. 4. Low cost of maintenance. 5. May not need electricity to operate for earthen ponds. 6. Can be handled by persons with little or no trainings. Then the demerits: 1. Can only be efficient where water is available in good quality. 2. Where inlet water is not treated, infection can find its way to the pond. 3. Not effective in dry season. 4. Water can be polluted through supplying source. 5. It could be at the risk of flood when inflow of water is not controlled during rain. 6. Temperature of water is dependent on environmental condition. And the last technique of water management we are going to talk about is pond/stand still system. Water is rarely refreshed through external source in this system. It is often used where there is no stable surface water to refresh the pond. However, farmers must be sure of the water retention ability of such an area before going into the business. After pond preparation, pond is filled with water either mechanically or naturally recharged through the groundwater for production for a season. Ponds under this system are understocked or moderately stocked to ensure fishes are raised for the whole season without much water management challenges. The pros and cons of these techniques are: 1. The merits. It is less expensive to maintain. 2. Less likely to be infected by external disease or infection. 3. Easy to manage and maintain. 4. less likely to be affected by flood. 5. Can be used in absence of surface water. Then the demerits: cannot be used for high density production. 2. The whole stock can be lost in case of disease outbreak. 3. When moderately or overstocked, fish may not attain their growth potential. 4. Large space of land is required for production. And so in conclusion, in whatever water management system one runs, it is important to note that the quality of your water will determine the quality of your production at harvest. Ensure you have these water management tips in place before heavily investing.